All right, what is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the CHB Podcast. Today, I'm back with 2010 Justin Bieber. How are you, mate? How you doing?
All right, missed that intro.
Yeah, the intros are getting better and better every time. I kind of just spitball
It's
it.
warming up.
When I was with Kane, I think the last intro I said with him before he just like disappeared from existence. Well, I think I called us two Big Macs with special sauce or something.
All
The
right,
extra,
that
what do they call it? We're the Big Jacks. We're like the really
the big
off-brand
jacks.
Big Macs. But we got a lot of NBA news to talk about. We've got a big OKC fan over here in William.
Mm.
Tell us about the draft, mate. What did you think? How do you reckon you go?
Oh well, I think our side of it was the only thing that actually went as expected. To be completely honest, we drafted Chet at number 2, which always looked like it was going to be likely. As much as I wanted Jabari Smith, still happy with that because the main goal was getting one of those top 3 guys, and then I like the look of Jang, and I don't actually know a whole lot about both the Jalen Williams, oh Jesus, but they were. It's kind of funny
Tourette's
having
on
the
the Centre
same
Half Bench
name.
podcast. No, but that Usman Jang, bro.
Mm,
I on my thing, like I reckon in my mock draft, like the only 2 picks I probably got right were OKC taking Chet at 2 and Usman Jang at. I said 12. You guys took him at 11, but
took him at 11. Yeah,
screw you. I'm gonna take it as a win to me because I tipped you guys taking him and you decided to finesse the New York Knicks and give them some protected picks that I don't even know are going to get up. One of them's like top 18 protected to the Detroit
yeah.
Pistons or something.
It's so weird. I think the only pick that's actually going to get to the Knicks is the Denver pick, and that's going to be somewhere in the 20s. So I
Yeah.
don't really understand how that really
I
works. I
think
guess they're just trying to do anything to clear up cap space at this point.
they hit the panic button. They were just like, holy shit, we don't want to take Usman
Yeah.
Jang. I don't know why they could have taken Jalen Durant. I don't know why Jalen Durant like really slid in this draft. Is that D Burton? Is the other Burton coming in?
No, this is what did you
No
call him?
way.
What do you call
No
them?
way.
Burger
We've
box
got
and fucking
Ginger pubes.
ginger pubes. That's it.
bro. Why is there so much fat shaming going on right now on the CHB podcast? We're trying to talk about OKC taking skinny white 7-footers.
I know I'm a former fat kid. I'm allowed to say it.
Yeah, no, that's facts. Get Ginger Pubes back in here. Ask him what he thinks about the draft.
Oh, here we go.
He can join in. What'd you think about OKC, mate?
Oh, okay, sounded fine. No, I'm joking. They're a fucking idiot.
Bro,
Sorry.
he took 2 minutes to stop texting all the 14-year-old chicks to come and make that statement on the CHP podcast. He's gone. We're not seeing him again. That's outrageous by him.
Made one appearance.
He completely destroyed your franchise in like one quote then. No, OKC had a good draft though. The Jalen Williams guy they took, he'll be a shot creator off the bench.
Which one?
Oh yeah, the one that doesn't have the Asian first name. So I think he's in one Vietnamese or something.
Oh,
I think he was
Jay.
the one that went later on. He's Jaylin.
yeah.
42nd pick.
42nd.
Something like that, wasn't it?
Fuck, I thought it was 34.
I thought it was late. I don't even know. OKC had too many picks, bro.
Too many picks. Even I can't remember.
There you go. No, OKC had a really good draft. Who do you reckon lost the draft though? Mate, show us your beautiful face. I don't want to. He's got his hand up. Hold on, you in the back. You in the back. Tell us what you think.
We lost it.
Wait,
Yeah.
you had the. That is facts. I mean, New York they shot
We're
themselves.
the team that didn't end up having a first round pick because we traded it away.
Mm. Why? Why did the Knicks trade away their first round pick? Why did it happen?
Because they're fucking retarded. There's no other explanation. They're just stupid.
Bro, you look like a nervous schoolboy trying to hide from Michael Jackson in the background. What are you doing with your hands?
Oh. Surely that violates some sort of centre-half bench podcast protocol or something.
What else am I going to say, man? I've got to spitball the facts here. This is going to be the most violent centre-half bench podcast. We've got Blake said the F-bomb more than anyone on this podcast has ever done before. So what else? Why? When, the Knicks trade, right? They got 3 first-round picks back, 2 of which I don't even think are going to get up. Basically, it seems like they traded away Jalen Durant and Kemba Walker's booty-ass contract and got back like pick 20 or something. That's what the trade ultimately seemed to be like.
Only thing I could think of them doing is clearing cap space to go for somebody. I don't know whether it's like Donovan Mitchell or Kyrie or some shit. They must be going for someone because they were very desperate to get off Kemba's contract.
Yeah. Wasn't it only like 9 million?
13 or something.
13?
Yeah, that's the difference. That might be the difference between having a max slot and not. So I don't know. I have attention to them.
If you were to say who they're going to get, do you think they would go out and throw everything at Donovan Mitchell?
Oh, well, I mean, it's fucking Knicks. They won't get anybody, will they?
Probably bring back Kemba Walker or something. Get him back on the team.
But on max this time.
There you go. But other than the Knicks, who had the worst draft, do you reckon? Who kind of disappointed for you?
Look, the Hornets. I don't know about the Hornets. I don't really know a whole lot about Durant and Mark Williams, but I felt like Durant was pretty universally the better prospect
than Mark Williams.
Yeah, I mean, he's not terrible. 7'2" guy that can protect the rim and shown a little bit of ability to switch out is good for any.
Good shot blocker as well.
Yeah, it's good for them, but they might look back on, potentially having both of them and regret that a little bit.
Could that have worked, having Durant and Williams, like maybe starting one of them and bringing the other one off the bench?
Well, Durant's pretty undersized, isn't he?
I think he's about 6'10", but he's big. Like they were saying Dwight Howard comparisons, like when the whole draft type of thing was going on.
So maybe he's not as short as I thought, but look, it's shown that they can play 2 big men together, like the Cavs, and I can't remember which other team was doing it towards the end of the season, but there was one of them.
Teams, I think I texted you this. Teams are starting to do it now. Did you see what Shams reported with the Minnesota Timberwolves and what their plan is going to be? They're apparently wanting to play Cat at the 4 next year because they're kind of fed up with the lack of like interior defense.
That's what I was going to say is the only reason they do that is just to cover up the Cats' defensive struggles. I don't think it will become a massive trend. But
yeah.
Look,
who do you think they get at their starting center next year? Do you reckon they go Clint Capella or JaVale McGee?
Look, I think Nas Reed. Oh, yeah, that's defense. I don't think they'll go with anybody really. I think it's
Mitchell Robinson.
Mitchell Robinson. If he gets
Look at Blake's face. He was like, "Take him, get him off the Knicks roster. I don't want him here anymore."
Besides, I don't want anyone.
Tell Blake to come here if he wants to join the CHB podcast. He's got to, because we can barely hear him.
Jaden McDaniels. Yeah,
oh my god.
We got one.
Yeah.
He sounds like he's got his dad's ball stuck in his mouth, bro. He can't speak. He's just like just in the background. Did you see the Cavs though? What did you think about the Cavs draft? That was an interesting one. We took some like rando guys and everyone was like, holy crap. The Cavs just selected Make-A-Wish people. Like Luke Travers came out of nowhere. I don't even know if he was ranked in the 80. Yeah, and the Cavs took him because I think he really impressed in his draft workouts.
Yeah, no, who was that guy that you took at 14, like Obi-Wan Kenobi or some shit?
No, goddamn, that was good. That was a good one. Achai Agbaji, that's who we got. He's basically
what the fuck?
I really wasn't going downstairs.
This thing got a fucking piano stool.
Went out and got a pogo stick to go and sit on.
It's making me look mad tall. I'll take it.
Yeah. No, that Achai dude, I think he's basically like Isaac Okoro, but he can basically shoot. So
Not bad.
we took him at 14, and then we got Mia Khalifa. I mean Khalifa Diop, with 39, I think, and basically he's like a big 7-foot center that's just going to absolutely destroy you if you,
Another center.
Yeah,
Isaiah Mobley.
yeah, Isaiah Mobley as well. What do you think? Good draft, or do you think they should have taken some like best available type players?
I didn't know Evan Mobley had a brother.
you just finding out about this today.
Mate, I had no idea. I didn't know 2 Jalen Williams were on our team either until after a few hours after the draft.
Yeah,
But,
that's what happens when you've got 18 first-round picks and you don't know who to draft anymore.
No,
I think they accidentally copied and pasted the same player, and then it just came up with some other random guy, and they're like, "Oh shit!"
Just like Jalen Williams so much. Like, shit, let me get him again. One of them better be an all-star, bro.
That's exactly right. All right, I think we'll move on. We'll move on from the draft now. I'm going to my notes here, and there's a thing that's been going around, Blake. I want to get your opinions on this too, because it's all over. I mean, anyone who follows Damian Lillard, I think, saw this. He posted a picture on his story of Kevin Durant in a jersey swap, Portland Trailblazers jersey. Is Damian Lillard just trying to stir the pot, or is
in Portland?
Is KD going to the land of the trees in Oregon?
No.
No, he's not leaving the concrete jungle to go to Oregon. That's not happening.
Nah, he's staying in Brooklyn once Kyrie gets a bag.
We got the dude from The Incredibles over here.
It's my fucking headband. Can't wear that now.
So you reckon Kyrie's staying? You don't think Kyrie's leaving?
No. I think he's just trying to get some leverage, because obviously if he leaves, then that means KD can threaten to leave as well. So
true.
They can't afford to lose KD and Kyrie. This is not going to happen. I remember we were talking about this last time. It's still the same stance. Like, no matter how much noise he makes, I'll have to see it to believe it.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I mean, people are saying the Lakers and all these other teams. I think they're just kind of, I can't take him serious with this headband in. What is he doing? No, they were saying that like he could go to all these other teams. He handed in a piece of paper that said like 6 teams that he would want to go to, and one was the Knicks. Blake McGill, what do you think about that one?
I don't know.
I'd rather Jalen Brunson.
Yeah,
but but yeah, I reckon that's what he's doing. He's just trying to get Brooklyn to be like, shit, we can't lose Kyrie, we can't lose KD, because then our best 3-point shooter will be Ben Simmons. We have to, bring Kyrie back on the max, and then you bring Kyrie on the max, you're keeping KD at the end of the day. And I think I've said this, you've probably said this as well. I personally think Ben Simmons is a better match for the Nets than what James Harden was. Am I outrageous to say that? Because I think Ben Simmons, the big thing they really lacked was interior defense. They had no one that was switching on the 4 and the 5. You bring in Ben Simmons, who can be the number 1 ball handler. Kyrie can go back to doing what he was in Cleveland when he had like a point forward. I think it's a really good match, and I think Kyrie should 100% go back. Do you think Ben Simmons is like the guy for this team, or what do you think's going on with the Nets? I want to know your breakdown.
Oh, he's a good fit. I don't know about being a better fit than Harden, though, because those 16 games that they played, especially before Harden fell off a cliff this year, I don't know what the hell he was doing.
Yeah.
But, last year, he looked absolutely insane in the games that he played when he was playing that facilitating role. I think, obviously, the upside in having Simmons over him is the defense, where Harden's a bit of a cone. And Simmons can give some much-needed defense.
I didn't think you said cone for a second.
Wait, hold on a second. Wait, what's going on here? What the hell? This is going to be the worst episode of the Centre Half Bench podcast ever. We've delved into like
Never
areas
more
we've never.
special sauce to revive this. You're gonna need to get some more big jacks in here.
Yeah, no cap. You know, it's because there's no. I'm not speaking to a fat person right now, like myself. It's always better when there's another chunky person talking about NBA.
They can just always like keep everybody else in check.
Exactly. He's like, what the hell? But yeah, I think with the Nets, Kyrie, he re-signs. KD ain't going to Portland. I don't know what Damian Lillard was doing. He was just trying to drag out anything, I think. But
doesn't want to run from the grind, so he'll get somebody that does to come and join him.
Oh, that's a big call from you, William.
Oh, wow. That was such a shock to say that KD run from the grind.
It's just that I think you executed the quote so great, it kind of shocked me. So I think you've done well there. If KD, if KD was for some reason go to Portland, what would they have to give up?
Everything.
Pretty much everything besides Dame.
CJL will be in a second round pick.
What else do they have left? They've got $80 million in cap space.
If KD wants to go somewhere, he has the power to just be like, I'm going there.
Josh Hart and Yusuf Nurkic's broken ankle.
Yeah, that's true. You might have to throw in an extra second to make that happen, though, just for insurance purposes. But, but yeah, I don't know why he did it. I mean, I was talking about it with the boys in the group chat. It's just so bizarre that Dame just posted it, and he deleted it straight away. He deleted it faster than I deleted my history. No, you're gonna put that up there.
He was clearly wanting to grab attention by doing it. I don't know what the point of deleting it is. Like it was some mistake.
Yeah, he should have done it on Twitter, bro. KD's got 8 accounts on Twitter. I'm sure he would have seen that eventually. But I mean, nah, for sure wasn't a mistake. I realistically really thought that they were gonna get OG Anunoby. I mean, that was the talk in the town that OG was gonna get traded to Portland for pick 7, and it never happened. They went with Shaedon Sharpe, who, to be honest, I thought was a weird pick to start off with. I really thought they needed Benedict Mathurin, and he got snatched up by the Pacers. So, I don't know. Do you think OG are those rumors potentially true? Do you think that trade still go down?
I think you'd have to give up a lot to convince the Raptors to let go of him. I mean, he's there's been rumors about him not being happy with his role in the offense or whatever, but I think that can all realistically be resolved. With the Shaedon Sharpe pick, I actually liked that for the Blazers. They've sort of just got to go balls to the wall and they've got nothing to lose really. Taking a hit or miss prospect like that, it's aligns with what they're trying to do, because really if Dame's staying, you only have a couple of years to compete and the current squad's not going to get it done. So you'd rather bet on the potential of someone like Shaedon Sharpe rather than getting somebody that might be a really good role player and has a higher floor that doesn't give you the longer term potential.
I just think Shaedon Sharpe, he was best available, you know what I mean? There were people out here saying he could have the most potential out of anyone in the draft. His ability to shot create is pretty insane. But my issue is the two most safe positions they had was a point guard and a shooting guard until the Jeremy Grant trade, right? And now they've just gone and brought in a dude that plays the point guard and the shooting guard. I thought they needed to maybe do something a little bit different, but I think they just really got messed over by Kenny D's team, the Pacers taking Benedict Mathurin. I thought that was a great get. I mean, he's going to fit in absolutely perfect in what Indiana did. Some people were saying they might take Dyson Daniels at pick 6 and partner him up with Halliburton. That didn't happen, but he still went pretty high. Daniels went at pick 8 as well. Either way, I still reckon the Pacers had a really good draft, and they took Portland's man. I think Portland just kind of said to himself, let's go best available. But do you see a way where if Portland were going to run this thing, does Shaedon Sharpe start it? Does he start at all? Or because I just kind of see a world where you've got Dame, Sharpe, and Simons all in the same starting lineup.
Yeah, I think they trade Simons because he's got obviously aside from Dame, but he has the most trade potential out of him and Sharpe. at the moment. And he could get a really good package for them. Like if they bundled him and a couple of picks and maybe another young player like a Josh Hart or something together, they could really get themselves a good player like a Bradley Beal or a Donovan Mitchell or a Rudy Gobert or somebody like that. Not to say it's specifically going to be those guys, but somebody of that sort of caliber.
I think you'd rule out Beal and Mitchell because it would be the same problem. There'd just be no defense there. But I get what you mean, like the same caliber of like a type of player. Rudy Gobert, that sparked up a really interesting one. But the one that we kind of mentioned before that I think would be good is do you go to the Trailblazers and say, we'll give you Anthony Simons future first round picks and try and get OG Anunoby? Is that a move you try and do?
Oh, I don't think OG is too much higher than Simons on the talent scale. I don't
really
think there's a difference between them. No, Simons was really, really good last year.
He was, yeah.
Before they started tanking, and he's still like, he came into the league as like the youngest player in the league, and he's had like 4 seasons under his belt. He's like 22, so he's primed to break out. I reckon if he goes to another team, he can be an all-star within like a couple of seasons. Maybe
so what
him for DeAndre Ayton or somebody like that.
What would the trade be? Like, let's just say an OG move was to happen, because they were saying OG Anunoby for pick 7, which would have been realistically OG for Shane Sharp.
Yeah.
Do you think the Trailblazers would have to throw in an extra first round pick if it was Simons and a first to Toronto, or do you think they are that similar with OG?
I think there's differences in that much. Like, might take maybe a first round pick or something like that, but it's not going to be Simons and basically gutting their whole team for OG.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely see that. Yeah. I think protected first round pick Anthony Simons for OG would pretty much get the deal done. And then the Raptors would get like Simons guaranteed for 4 or 5 years, probably on around $16 million per year. And that guy is bound to break out. Like, he could be a really, really good starting guard in the league. But I like that move. OG for Simons, that could be one they definitely look at, especially if they're moving with Sharp now at pick 7, which it would be a good pick, but I just don't know if they're going to be trading Simons. Like, if they keep Simons, I don't like the pick. If they trade Simons for like an OG, then that's a terrific pick by the Trailblazers, because for all we know, Sharp could literally explode in the draft and be like a really, really good player. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of different things going on. A lot of people are talking about who they think won the draft, and the team that actually has been brought up is the Detroit Pistons. Do you think out of everyone, did they have the best draft?
Yeah, they did pretty well. Looking at it, they got Ivy got Ivy and Duran. I was more impressed with the Duran move because Jaden Ivey kind of fell in their lap, and I'm reserving my judgment on that one because it's eerily similar to the Scotty Barnes and Jalen Suggs situation of last year. So I'm gonna hold my judgment on that, even though it is the Kings. But I'll.
Wow! So you think Ivy could end up like old mate in Orlando?
No, I think it's the opposite. I think Keegan Murray could end up like Scotty Barnes.
I think Murray is a very, very good player. But on that,
you should take him over Ivy.
Yes, I did. On my mock draft, mate, I do have Murray going at 4 to the Kings.
Is that more praise on Keegan Murray, or is that slander on Ivy?
That is more praise on Keegan Murray than slander on Ivy. Also, more praise on the Kings for making a right decision for the first time in the franchise history. I mean, they could have taken Ivy with this pick, and if they had a time machine, they wouldn't have taken Mitchell at like pick 9 last year. Like, I don't know what they were doing there.
Best decision since getting Mike Bibby to eat his former self in fucking 2003.
Mate, I don't know what's going on, but my dog's having like an orgasm in the back. And if you can hear her in the background, the sound of William's voice is like really just making her happy. She loves the Sacramento Kings slander. She's like everyone else. But yeah, no, Keegan Murray, I said he could go down as being one of the best players in the NBA that doesn't become a star. That's what I said. I don't think he becomes a star. I think he just becomes like one of those role players that's dropping like 16, 17 a night that has really, really good perimeter defense that shoots throws. Pretty much a better Jeremy Grant. That's what I think Keegan Murray could for sure kind of reach.
All-Star team in his first year in Detroit.
What'd you say, sorry?
Jeremy Grant almost made the All-Star team in his first year in Detroit. So
yeah, but he was the number one guy. I don't expect Keegan Murray to be like the number one guy anytime soon.
The bonus and Fox.
Yeah. That's why I think that will be the case. I mean, they had to make this move as well because I just feel like the outside shooting was like, I mean, they traded Buddy Hield, all this stuff. They're looking to trade Harrison Barnes. I mean, your core group of players is Davion Mitchell, De'Aaron Fox, and Domantas Sabonis. And the three-point shooting there is worse than me and Ryan Hull on a Thursday night at basketball. So you've got some absolute cheeks percentage going on there. It's going to be like 1 from 48.
Don't diss Ryan, bro. He went 1 from 8 on Thursday.
No, I'm expecting Ryan to make that 1 from 48. I'll be lucky if I even get near the rock, mate. But I don't know. I just feel like they needed to do. This was the correct move by Sacramento. They didn't take best available. They took, I think, best fit. They're kind of building something. Like, I feel like they're building a foundation in Sacramento that.
Or maybe a playing team.
No, I mean by like a starting foundation, a very early foundation. There's still so much they need to work on. Like, if you were to ask me, I think OKC are in front of Sacramento at this point. Like, I think you guys could be a seriously good team very soon.
Or in terms of next year, or in terms of just the rebuild in general?
Even both. I think OKC could literally do well and actually compete for a playing spot next year.
Yeah, look, it depends. I actually don't know what we're trying to do. We could either, sort of actually make this the year that we sort of go to try and climb up a little bit, or we could stay down for that French kid.
Yeah, and that's not saying that Sacramento can't make the play-in. I think both teams will compete for it, and then Sacramento might win out because they're like more experienced and all that type of stuff. But I feel like OKC have a way better young core that will eventually, obviously, outlive what they've got going on. But with OKC, though, I was kind of hoping you guys would take Jalen Durant because I was kind of hoping to see a Chet Holmgren at the 4, Jalen Durant at the 5. I honestly thought that would be an unstoppable team. Like, imagine the length on that starting 5. You got SGA, Josh Giddey, Lou Dort, Jalen Durant, and Chet.
Yeah.
Defensively, in a couple of years, that could be like the best defensive team in the whole. But I don't know. You guys didn't go that way. Are you happy you didn't go that way, or?
Oh, well, once we took Chet, I think drafting Durant would have been a bit surplus considering the amount of power forwards we've got on the roster already. I mean, they're a bit suspect in terms of their future optics, but Baisley and Pokashevsky, like, we've still got to get minutes into guys like that. And we've also got Kenrich Williams, Kenny Hustle, who plays a bit of small forward, power forward. And once we took Chet, if we took Jabari Smith, because I wanted to take Jabari Smith and then get Durant at 12, which was what I thought was the best way to go. But once we got Chet, I'd basically just swing for the fences on whoever else. That's our centre. We roll with him.
That's interesting that you say that. Jabari Smith at the 4 and then Durant at the 5. Are you disappointed OKC didn't change their mind last second, or are you kind of happy that they stuck firm with what their gut was telling them? Because they wanted Chet for the last, month, while I think Orlando changed their mind in the last 30 minutes about Paolo. I don't think they were picking him like 30 minutes before the draft started.
Yeah, no, they flipped egg on everybody's heads. Apparently, we really thought that Chet was like the best guy in the draft, and if we were at number 1, we would have taken him as well. So I trust Presti with my life. Obviously, I don't know more than an NBA GM, let alone one of the best ones in the league. So I'll just roll with whatever he says. People were angry about us picking Giddey last year, and then look how that turned out. So basically, Jalen Williams, both of them are going to be MVPs. I
don't know. I've heard you're a bit of a whiz on the old My League.
Mate, I haven't today. I put Chet next to Wembanyama, and we won like 4 straight.
How are you playing my league right now, mate? I swear if you go on NBA 2K22 on like the PS5 and you use the PS4 version, mate, you can barely open the app. How are you playing my league? I don't get how that works. Are you doing...
Well, I'm on next gen, but...
Is Start
maybe...
Today working on next gen?
No, there's no Start Today. What you have to do, they've replaced it with this like scenarios thing. So you have to go and download somebody else's scenario, and it's like a start point from there. So people have made scenarios from after the draft, and then you take it from there, sort of thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
so basically 2K just lazy as fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty much just relying on their own community to do their job for them.
So with so OKC, that's the thing as well. Do you think OKC will? Because I still don't think they're going to sign anyone in free agency. But do you think this team, depth-wise, is good enough to make a play-in tournament? Or do you think they're just going to tank for that 7'3" bloke that's supposed to be getting drafted pretty high?
What I think we should do is try and shoot for a play-in spot. And what I think we will do is we'll try and tank for the French guy. Yeah, we haven't been that bad in the last couple of years before we've sat all our players at the end of the year to try and get a bad pick. I mean, get a bad record. God, it's too many picks.
Too many tanking. Yeah.
Still tanking for someone.
Yeah, mate, you guys will be tanking for 18 years. I don't know. Until you guys relocate to Vegas or something, you'll be tanking for absolutely ages.
Still dying on that hill. We could 4-peat and this man would still say we're going to bloody Hawaii or some shit.
Okay, so they're not done relocating, mate. They're going back to Seattle, book it in. They heard KD likes the forest.
We get KD back.
Yeah, they want to go back to the old forest area. But yeah, I don't know. I think OKC, there's a lot going on with the Cavs though, because I'm a Cavaliers fan. I want to know though what you think, how we're gonna go this season. Do you think we'll be a playoff team? Because I feel like we got pretty stitched up. We should have been a playoff team last season, and injuries just smashed us, and playing just didn't go our way.
I think you're heading for like a 5th or 6th seed type thing. I think there's a couple of teams that might, because you guys were like right up the top at the start of the season, but I think there's a couple of teams that might jump you in the standings, like Chicago or maybe a Brooklyn if everything calms down, but fuck knows what's going on there. There's still the top half. There's Boston. I don't think they're going anywhere. We know Milwaukee's not going anywhere. Same thing with Miami. So the top 4 is set, but you guys will make the playoffs 100%.
Philly as well. Do those 4 teams that's just been mentioned, does any of them drop? Can you see, let's just say Miami are the first seed, right? Does one of them drop to like, number 4 or number 5 even?
I think Boston will win the, I don't know if they'll win the East, but I think they'll take the 1 seed. They're a really good regular season team and their defense is crazy. I think Milwaukee will be a bit better in the regular season just because they're not coming off a chip. And they'll be the 2 seed. I don't know what else goes from there. I don't know.
Yeah, mate. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't hear a thing you said because I'm just looking in Blake's eyes as he's winking at me. He's looking at me with devious intention, mate. Like
devious. Oh, that's a
very devious word. That is a very Murdoch kid word right there. I feel like I'm gonna have to apply for a university or something at this point now. Like,
from the best.
Yeah. You see what you've done to me? I've been encapsulated by Blake's soul, and now I'm like, I'm a different man.
You're on a roll.
I am on a roll. But yeah, I don't know. I think the Cavs, we deserve to make a playoffs. I just don't know what we're doing because we drafted a Chai, which is another wing player, 6'5", 6'6", shoots threes, good perimeter defense, but we have so many of those guys now that are like those wing players, like Isaac Okoro, Karis LeVert, so many of these guys. And I don't know. I just don't know how you're going to fit all of them like in, because I feel like we're going to have like a deep 12, 13 man type of team. Still got Lamar Stevens, who's going to want big minutes. I honestly still think he's a better player than Isaac Okoro. I think most Cavs fans would agree.
Ooh.
I don't know what we're going to do with all of those players. So, and you still got Colin Sexton. Does he re-sign, do you reckon? Or do you reckon we might trade him?
I reckon he comes back on a shortish sort of deal so he can play and sort of up his value a bit. Basically, just get Ricky Rubio back in your set.
Mate, we're going to have like every 14 players that should be playing, and then there's Dylan Windler sitting there averaging 18 hand claps a game. That guy does not do a whole lot. I don't know how he's on the roster.
The old shooter that can't shoot. You got to love him. Dougie McBucket.
Dougie
had with us.
Dougie McBuckets. He got about 12 million a year at the Spurs, mate. He's living large over there.
Yeah, Davis Bertans is one that comes to mind. The old shooter.
16, 17 million. Mate, how did that deal get through? But I don't know. The Cavs, we call him Sexton. It's such a tough one because, like, if you were to bring back Rubio, then you think about all the players that we've got to play. There's like 10, 11, or 12 of them. And you've got a market here now for Colin Sexton that I feel like hasn't ever been there for a long time. Like, there's been so many teams that have come out of nowhere and have been interested in him. One being the Knicks, which I'll ask you, Blake. If you were to get Colin Sexton, what would you give up to get him, or do you not want him?
I don't want him.
No.
You can't play Colin at the 1, in my opinion. And I don't really want to push RJ down to the 3 any longer. I kind of want him to play 2 and bring in a forward.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm not a massive fan of Evan Fournier.
Oh,
and he's patchy
shooter
offense.
that can't shoot.
Mate, what's going on with Cam Reddish? He could be that exact forward and they just don't play him.
I don't understand. He just puts in about as much as Evan Fournier does, honestly. Defensive Fournier.
8 hand claps, a bunch of missed 3-point shots.
A bunch of tweets on the sideline.
Tweeting mid-game. Remember when Jordan DeGoey went on his phone like mid-game that one time? Mate. I know, that's an absolute disaster. All right. Yeah. You see him fix his hair like we were recording and he does the old JB shake with his hair.
I'm just trying to become him.
Just trying to become him at this point. But we were just talking about DeGoey with Collingwood right now. Like, I mean, what the hell is going on there? As a Collingwood fan yourself, give us the rundown. Are you going to re-sign him? What do you think is ultimately going on with Jordan DeGoey?
I have no idea. I was pretty sure that we were going to re-sign him before all this shit happened, but I'm not sure now at all. To be honest, I think he's a bit more trouble than he's worth on the field, to be honest. We're pretty good side now.
Hey, whoa, gee whiz.
Allegedly,
yeah. Chill out over there.
Podcast, after all.
Yeah, no, we don't talk about that stuff here, even though I mentioned Michael Jackson at the first 5 minutes. But anyway, I don't know. That's what I was saying, though. If you guys don't bring back DeGoey, who does he play for next year? The Frankston Dolphins, Williamstown Seagulls.
North will take him.
I mean, North are probably going to extend Jared Pollock on $900K a season again or something like that, just because why not?
Me and you as the dynamic duo down in the Langwarrin under-14s forward pocket at this
Oh,
stage.
yeah.
Jaden Stevenson.
Exactly. Me and you would literally go down there. Mate, we're probably averaging more than half their forwards kicked in our careers. So I don't even know. I mean, DeGoey is just such a weird one, and it's so funny because the club that's like really linked to him is Essendon. And of course they are the club that's been in a shit ton of trouble. Like, they just need to stay away from him. I think if a team should give DeGoey a go, and I think Kane said this, it needs to be a team that is like, has a bunch of really like veteran type of players around the club, a really steady atmosphere. What do you say, sorry?
I reckon if it was something like that, he'd end up at Geelong. It's been happening for like years that these troubled players go down to Geelong and then all of a sudden
fix themselves up.
It's like Brisbane with the players that can't get on the park with injuries, like Lincoln McCarthy.
Yeah, true. So you Who else? Cam Ellis-Yolman. He was
Yeah. Except
He
he's
did-
shit.
yeah, he's not very good, but hey, he got his
Oh,
injuries off.
Alan
Yeah.
Christensen.
Alan Christensen,
Alan
yeah.
Christensen.
He takes injured Geelong players and
and rebirth them. Yeah, but
yeah.
yeah, but if you were, so you're saying Geelong should be the team that looks at him.
Yeah, well, like a Geelong or a Hawthorn or something like that, just a team with an established culture, not necessarily Hawthorn.
Yeah.
Geelong, Sydney, Richmond, that sort of thing.
That's where I was going to go here because I think Kane mentioned it. If you were the Richmond Tigers, would you look at Jordan De Goey?
Oh, 100%. He's very talented.
How much would he be worth, do you reckon?
Oh, well, he'd be worth a bag of chips at the trade table just because of all the off-field issues and stuff. It'd be more about...
Collingwood would be like, we'll give you a Mountain Dew, Doritos, 8 court cases, and maybe
give us
popcorn chicken.
Samson Ryan.
Yeah. We'll take back Samson Ryan as well, just to make it a little bit more fair. But yeah, I personally think, I mean, Richmond have had I feel like we've had a history of getting like a lot of players into the culture and doing stuff right. I mean, you look at the Sydney Stack situation. Sydney Stack went out, did what he did, cost the club like $100K in fines or something like that. But the club still went out and won the flag. They've done absolutely everything that they possibly could have, even with all the controversies kind of on the sideline. I mean, De Goey's controversies are like none other. Like, they're nowhere near like Sydney Starks. But, I mean, if any club can possibly handle it, I think Richmond could for sure give it a go. And I think we could definitely look at him. But a player that I wanted to bring up as well, who is still unrestricted right now, looking to get a whole lot of midfield time, is on a club as well that could have maybe financial issues because they've got so many players signed up. Josh Dunkley. I was saying to Kane, I think the Richmond Tigers should offer, because we're going to have heaps of cap. We're probably going to have like, the capability to offer players like him $800K a year. And that's what I'm saying. I think we should offer him a deal. Do you think that could be something that we maybe look at?
Oh, I don't think there's a club that wouldn't be interested in Josh Dunkley, to be honest. I reckon that he's been ready to explode as an elite midfielder for a couple of... Well, he already is one, but he's been ready to explode as like...
Shafted to backup ruckman.
Yeah, no, he needs to be somewhere where he can be the number 1, number 2 midfielder and he can make all Australian teams and stuff like that. I distinctly remember he demanded a trade to Essendon a couple of years ago and I was licking my lips at getting him in my Supercoach team the next year. And he ended up staying with the Dogs. So.
Did you give him the devious look, the Rocky goes?
Yeah, something like that. Gave him one of those ones. He was slotting straight into my midfield if he got to Essendon.
Yeah. The issue is though, and I feel like Collingwood are the root of everyone's problems because Collingwood like traded Adam Treloar and were like, screw you, Adam Treloar. And then sent him to the Dogs, and now all of a sudden Adam Treloar and Dunkley are like best buddies. And I have a feeling
so long ago.
Yeah, I have a feeling like he might stay just because of like how close he is with those players. And I mean, the Dogs have too many inside midfielders. I feel like they need to like evenly spread the money like in other spots and, put some work into the back line, maybe even the forward line because their midfield is so stacked. And I feel like you just can't play Josh Dunkley as like the role that he's playing right now. He needs to be the number 1 guy. And I think Richmond should do it. If we were to get him, though, what do you think we would have to do? Like, what would we have to trade up? And also, do you think we would have to maybe sign his brother? Because I think that was the proposal last time. He would go to Essendon if Essendon signed his brother. And I think that actually nearly ended up happening. Do you think the Tigers would do something similar?
Well, signing his brother, there's 48 guys on a list. He can do that if that's what he wants. Yep. But yeah, like I said, everybody would want Dunkley, but especially for Richmond, he'd be perfect. He'd be like Dion Prestia if he actually played.
Hey,
So
to be fair to Presti, it wasn't his fault that he absolutely got Batista bombed and RKO'd in one action by Tom Stewart's elbow.
yeah, and then Stewart won them the bloody game afterwards, which was great for all the Richmond supporters at the ground.
I don't know how. I mean, surely the AFL looks at that. He's absolutely king hitter bloke and just gone on with the game and won it.
Yeah, but it wouldn't have been a problem if he was just some random player and played like shit. But he's an absolute gun and won them the game almost single-handedly. That's the only reason why people are discussing.
Mate, out of all the players he took out like our most important. Why didn't he take out like Judson Clark or Ivan Soldo? Why did he go straight for Dion Prestia?
27 points on my Supercoach field this week. So he's in my bad books, Judson Clark. I don't care if it's a game, kid.
Exactly. But yeah, what would the Tigers have to trade, do you reckon, to get Dunkley?
Oh, like a first and a young player. Don't know who that'd be, but maybe Gibcus. Oh, I don't think they'd give up Gibcus.
Blake's licking his lips. He wants something spicy to happen over there. You know, we
wouldn't want Gibcus though. He's a bloody gun.
Yeah, me and Will in the last podcast we did together, we chatted about Lachie Neale's wife a little bit too long than what we probably should have. But in the video, we basically talked about Blake, whether or not we think Lachie Neale is he going to go back to Freo? And we basically discussed that the root of Lachie Neale going back to Freo was because the man is absolutely whipped. And if he doesn't get there, then he's going to be blue-balled because his wife ain't going to, she wants to go back to Freo, right?
Get rid of the wife.
Oh, yeah, true. So you're telling me, but you wouldn't even consider a Lachie Neale trade. You would deport the wife. Send her to Fremantle.
There's no one they're going to give us that's going to be anything worth it. I'd just rather her fuck off. Just break it.
Me and Will, we were talking about, they got offered pick 6 and 8 for Lachie Neale. Declined it. They've kept him for another year. But here's the thing. This is where this gets interesting. Rory Lobb he's been demanding a trade for a little bit now. He originally wanted to go to GWS, but then it was said it would be a northeast type of team, which would basically be Brisbane. If you were offered, though, like a similar thing that was 6 and 8 and Rory Lobb for Lachie Neale, would you consider that? Or would you tell him to suck it up again, tell your wife to bugger off?
Happy wife, happy life.
Your wife can go spend times with the Brisbane Lions reserves and...
Fuck Rory Lobb. I don't give a shit. Fuck, he's happy too. Stay with the team. Unless he's doing doing a Boyd from fucking the Dogs, I don't give a shit. Either retires.
What is my man's on about? I asked him a simple question.
No. Either he retires.
Yeah. You're saying Rory Lobb is going to come to Brisbane and retire?
No. Lachie Neale either retires or he stays at the club.
Oh, shit. My man is keeping him locked in a cage, bro. You must stay at Brisbane.
I'd take pick 6 and pick 8 and Lobb for sure.
I thought you were going to say you can keep Rory Lobb. I'll just take 6 and 8. I feel like Rory Lobb would actually be really good, though, on the Lions. Like, I feel like he would actually feel a need. I mean, he'd be better than Eric Hipwood's bum ass, right? I mean, I can't be the only one that thinks Eric Hipwood is not that good.
Since he cut his hair.
Yeah, all his power went away with his hair.
Is that true? Is that what the rumours going around over there in Brisbane right now? Got the haircut and just became an absolute shit bloke at footy. Not that he did his ACL or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, Brisbane, they're shit house out the window. They lost by 10 goals. Supposed to be winning a flag and you lose by 10 goals. That's crazy.
He's hasn't a team that's won a flag after losing by 10 goals.
Well, there has, but not one that hasn't won at the MCG in 9 years.
Blake, you're a passionate Brisbane fan who's going to literally tell you everything as it is. Do you think Will's onto something here? Do you think the Lions are pretenders or?
I just don't think anyone's beating Melbourne later down the track.
Melbourne's
just-
still the favourites.
I
Not
got
even the Dockers.
Nah, I got Melbourne, and the Dockers would probably be the only team that would contend. That's it.
No,
Go
mate,
on.
not if Jack Ginniman's got anything to say about it. He'll draw 8 free kicks and kick 100.
If we hadn't have almost choked that lead today, I would have been absolutely piping up on this thing. But I'm staying real quiet because I almost got humbled very badly by bloody Stephen Canelio, who's apparently a god again.
Mate, Stephen Canelio is going to be like the best $1 million midfielder that's for some reason being played at the forward pocket. That's another thing.
Yeah.
GWS have way too many midfielders, so they just play him in random ass positions.
It's been put back in the guts under their new coach. And Himmelberg, what's going on with him? I've only watched GWS this week, but he's getting 30 touches a week. I don't know what the hell's going on.
They moved him to back pocket or something like that. This new coach has come in and done like 800 things, and everyone for some reason still wants him sacked for James Hird. Like, everyone's talking about, James Hird's going to be back in the coaching seat next year, this and that.
What the appeal is for James Hird?
I don't get it either.
Like, he had a couple of seasons, and half of them they were doing drugs, and then the other one they made an elimination final and got absolutely smacked up by Carlton. So
yeah, you're not even wrong there, but I don't know. GWS, they've got a lot of things that they will definitely have to look at. But, we were just talking about Freo then, and I feel like it was Kane Corns who said this, or it could have even been Johnny Ralph, but it was said somewhere that Luke Jackson would be getting offered a deal from Fremantle that would be worth around 5 to 7 years on $1 million to $1.1 million a year. How insane is that? You don't think he turns that down, do you? If that happens, he doesn't turn that down.
Well, is he a restricted free agent?
He's fully restricted. So Melbourne can match the deal, but you can't match a 7-year. And the thing is, though, is Fremantle are going to have cap because Rory Lobb's on like 800K right now, and they're sending him out. Like, Rory Lobb's going to get traded at the end of the year. And they've still got a really good salary cap situation. Like, they're paying Will Brodie a $5 double cheeseburger with some off bacon from McDonald's. And they've got so much room to move. And I saw a mock trade today, which has absolutely disgusted me. It said Sean Darcy and a first-round pick for Luke Jackson.
Oh, was that the 7 AFL fake trade?
Mate.
Oh, I hate them so much. They piss me off every
time. If Luke Jackson is getting to Fremantle, he and Sean Darcy are playing together. Am I wrong for saying that? Like, why would they trade? Luke Jackson has proven he can go down and play forward and take a nice mark down back. Why would that happen?
I reckon Jackson might go down the old Matthew Richardson route and become a bit of a winger one day. I reckon that's his
say that. Yeah.
Eventually. He's so versatile. That's really the value in him, is that he can play anywhere and that he's so young he's going to blossom into a star. But I don't know. It's really up to him. If he decided to take the Fremantle deal, I don't think Melbourne could possibly match.
The obvious question I'm going to ask you is, do you think that rumor of that contract is true? And obviously, if so, you've kind of already answered it. But if that rumor is true, does he go to Fremantle?
Oh, well, I couldn't see why it wouldn't be true. I mean, if they can manage to get Lob out the door, then that basically opens up the salary cap space. Especially, I think they'd be getting Walters on a bit of a cheaper deal since he fell off a cliff as well. So I don't know when his contract is up, but he'll be definitely getting a smaller deal. So
he'll be on his contract will just be a go bucket soon. Don't think there'll be a whole lot. Maybe
talking about food.
Yeah, no, goddamn fat people problems, bro. $1 frozen Mountain Dew. Not even a frozen Pepsi Max, just a Mountain Dew.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's too many better players to go after than Jackson as far as, future and now sort of thing is concerned. Other than maybe they could go get Lachie Neale.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But when you think about it, though, who would Fremantle be paying? like I'm sure Brayshaw and that haven't been getting exactly big contracts just as yet. You've still got Nat Fives probably on $1 million. I'm sure Michael Walters is on a big contract at the moment. Lob's on, I think, 800. And then I don't know, is Taberner on 2.8 million a year or something? Like, who would be? I don't know who's getting paid.
Taberner's probably on a fillet of fish and a small fries because he got like last year. So
Yeah.
I wouldn't take a fillet of fish. I'd get paid nothing. I'd be
Yeah.
rather than
Is it true? Does the fillet fish sit there for 40 years, sogging away until its next victim buys it?
So long.
It stinks.
At least 3 hours.
Welcome to Centre Half Bench Food Talks. Today I'm with Burger Box and Ginger Pubes. We're talking about
inside the McDonald's kitchen,
and we want to know what AFL player is worth what. The ultimate penalty is a fillet fish burger, not even with a side of fries, just a fillet of and some like stale ass lemonade that it's been sitting there for 8 years.
Oh no!
Eric Hipwood's worth a cone without the ice cream.
What cone are we? Okay, you said ice cream. Never mind. No, but like in all seriousness, no, like who are Fremantle are paying? Like I've had this thought about North Melbourne as well. I know they're paying Jared Pollock like 900K, but if you don't pay all your players, the money goes back to the AFL.
Yeah, we talked about this. They were giving Zeeble like $5 million.
So I'm convinced Jack Zeeble is making 4.8 million a year right now, just to be depressed as on the North Melbourne Football Club.
He doesn't look like a happy man. I'll just see him out on the field every week, and he doesn't look happy at all.
He just looks angry, like he just doesn't want to be there. And like, I mean, with Fremantle though, like, who would they possibly be paying right now? Like, I just don't know. That's why I think that Luke Jackson.
That's it.
Yeah, I think that Luke Jackson thing is realistically a big thing. Yeah, well, Rory Lobb's supposed to be on 800, so it wouldn't shock me if someone out of the blue is on. They're probably still paying Hayden Ballantyne 400K or something. He's probably just chilling away there. But McStay, Daniel McStay. This is did you tell Blake about this or?
Yeah, did the rumors that he could end up at Collingwood.
So yeah, I'm not going to say who said it, but I do have a friend that goes to the Collingwood Academy, and we'll not snitch his name out. No, you're Blake, mate. His name's not. But to pretty much say what he said. Also, Scoops, fuck you, because I'm reporting this before you are. To basically say what he said is he heard there was a big rumor floating around that Collingwood have offered Daniel McStay 600K a year for 5 years. I thought, how the hell does he know this? Because he walked up to me in the most sus way. It's like he whispered in my ears and he was like, don't ask me how I know this. And like my hairs on my arms tingled up. I thought I was getting some real interesting information. And it was some Dan McStay shit, like whatever. But anyway, a week later, Johnny Rolfe reported on the Herald Sun that a club had offered him 600K a year for 5 years, and he wasn't ready to like announce which club it was. But of course, because of my awesome connections, again, fuck you, Scoop. We know it's the Collingwood Football Club. So we got a Brisbane fan here, we got a Collingwood fan. If the Brisbane Lions do not match that deal, which I don't think they will, Collingwood would get McStay for 600K a year. Is that a good deal for Collingwood?
I'll take it.
Because I feel like Blake's sitting over there and he's like, take him. Do you want Eric Hipwood as well? You can have him.
I love McStay.
Oh, really?
I reckon any team would be happy to have him. He's just not worth 600K.
5 years as well. That would guarantee him till he's 31, 32, I think.
No, I'd still take him.
You think that's a good bet?
He's sort of in the Maya check role, as he's not really a key player, key tool as such. But any help we can get. I mean, our forward line's been a lot better this year. We don't need as much help as we did last year, but could always use more. And if we've got the cap space to do it, which somehow we have, even though we're in some sort of bloody red alert this 2 years ago, and now all of a
Yeah.
sudden we're like, ooh, we can get 600k bloody Dan next day.
Yeah.
But
Mid-level exception, mate. You've offered the mid-level up right now, but he's got gonorrhea. But no, like what I was saying, I think I said this to you as well. McStay is like, I think on a really good team, he's a third option, like a third, tall option. Can be a second option, but I don't think with Collingwood, the beauty of what they have is they've already got Myercheck as like, even though he's kind of playing as the number one, he should be the number two. So you'll have Myercheck as the number two, McStay as the number three. Get that done. You guys just need to find your number one guy. So I don't know who would you go for. Maybe you guys offer Luke Jackson 7 years, $1 million a year.
We got a grubby pause on Luke Jackson. Oh my god.
Grundy can go to Adelaide.
No, we're at our best. This is going to sound funny, but we're actually at our best when Cox is up and going. When he's firing, we genuinely looked unstoppable against Melbourne.
The Blake's rolling his eyes. Did you hear what he just said? When Cox is up and going. Do you know how fucked up that sounds? And then when he's shooting around or something, you said. Mate,
you can't even see
when he's firing.
He wears safety protection, so there's no backsplash.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, don't pull a Xavier on us. Fucking
Yeah, mate. We had a podcast with Xavier on here. Blake, you missed out on the fun, but we had Xavier on here. And as every 10 minutes went past, he kind of like in more and more retarded as the podcast went on. It was like in the last 5 minutes, he just couldn't take it anymore.
He was just bouncing off the walls at the end. He was just had too much energy. He needed to like loose.
He literally he started off as Xavier Solomons in the first 5 minutes. In the last 5 minutes, I swear he was running the podcast. He was centre half bench. He was asking people questions and he was asking people like the most random questions. Didn't even have to do with sport either. I don't know what's going on there, but there's not a whole lot more to talk about. The AFL season it's in its midway right now. The eight is like really starting to shape around. So many teams are still competing for it, like the top 11 in the AFL. It can really change all the time now. And in that case too, like I'm sure we're gonna have way more to talk about in a couple of weeks. We'll get more from Blake soon, I reckon. I want to hear more about the Lockie Neal antics in the next podcast, I think. If Lockie Neal's
get a restraining order on
if Lockie Neal's wife sees this podcast, we're in serious trouble here, I reckon. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thanks to Blake for having a quick wardrobe change as well, so we can see his pasty ass arms. Thank you for William for coming on. Good to see you still looking like JB. But yeah, leave a like, subscribe, comment your thoughts and opinions down below, and we will see you guys next time. Fuck, I'm a virgin.
You